Hello. It's Saturday night. You definitely know who we are. We are the Wrestlemaniacs, and it is a special Saturday night because tonight aired the return of Saturday night's main event. So I am the People's Choice, Don Rodriguez. Next to me, out in the streets of DC, trying to find some go-go and some mumbo sauce, is the big guy KG. What's up, KG?
Not much, man. You know, it's not hard to find go-go in DC. Now, good mumbo sauce. Now, that's a task right there.
But where you find it?
Well, I mean, the best mumbo sauce right now is probably the Eddie Leonard's on Marlboro Pike in DC and Maryland. On Marlboro Pike and Forestville Road. That's probably the best mumbo sauce right now. But if I had to choose best mumbo sauce of all time, in a minute, carry out, Palmer Pop used to exist, doesn't exist anymore. Mumbo sauce is thick like barbecue sauce and stuck to the wingdings and the box and everything else. Probably the greatest thing to say right on.
Okay. All right. So for the people in the back that may be afraid to ask, what exactly in the hell is mumbo sauce?
Mumbo sauce it's this thick, it's supposed to be thick. It's a thick, tangy sauce that you put on your chicken wings and your French fries and things like that. It's almost thick as barbecue sauce at times. But now the new stuff they make is thin, and you know you can buy Calvin City, which is pretty good in a pinch. But you know it's in the family of barbecue sauce and ketchup. It's easy to make, but it's hard to perfect. Let's just say that.
All right, and then the other pressing question is a little complex, but maybe you could shed some light. Is go-go a person, a place, or a thing? And why is it the same beat?
Go-go is a culture. It's a way of life, and it's not the same beat. Go-go is inspired by funk, soul, gospel, big band, swing, jazz, because a lot of great go-go hits from the 70s and 80s. Run Joe, anything by Chuck Brown, you got to go back and look at the depth of where it came from. Okay. Run, It Don't Mean a Thing. Those are big band / swing hits from the 30s that he updated and made into go-go classics. Because It Don't Mean a Thing If you ain't got that go-go swing, do out, do out, do out, do out, do out. Want to see people, not the signs. Yeah, it's a way of life. It's a culture. If you grew up inside the city, you grew up around the city, you knew what it was like in the 80s and the 90s, and even into the early 2000s to go to the Black Hole, Dino's, the Icebox, um, sh- um, Triples. It was like so many different clubs you could go. 930 Club, you know.
Okay.
Chuck Brown would throw his birthday parties every year, man. That was the place to be, but you had to be 25 and older.
So, where can people go right now for those that are looking to travel to the nation's capital? Where can they go to get a good go-go experience and beat their feet?
That, to be quite honest, my good sir, my good brother, I do not know. I don't even know where people go to see go-go. I don't even know. I know go-go bands still play, but like the bands that I grew up with, the Junkyards, the Backyards, the Rare Assets. It used to be you could go to Club Elite, stuff like that, but these clubs don't. Some of these clubs don't exist anymore. You can go see Belladonna and stuff like that, which used to be Pleasure, but
Mhm.
I don't even know where to go see him anymore. I'm out of the loop because I'm out of that crowd. Don't get me wrong, I love me some go-go, but going to see it live, I'm out of that crowd. I've been out of that crowd for about 25 years.
Wow. Okay. Well, you at least got a little bit of food tour and musical insight. So, sorry, Keith Lee. We talk about the other Keith Lee, the one that does food reviews, not the real Keith Lee that we know about. He just got upstaged by the big guy KG. So, thank you for that. And speaking of, since you're giving a history lesson, and it's Saturday night's main event, I'm taking it back to the OG. You can't see it, but wearing my $9.99 WWE Network T-shirt in support of Retro Saturday for the WWE and Saturday night's main event. So we're gonna jump right into it. It was great to see Jesse the Body Ventura back in the WWE, doing things only Jesse could do, saying things only Jesse could say. I mean, without Mean Gene, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon, uh, um, uh, Howard Finkel. I mean, we had Lillian Garcia, but she's not truly back in the day. But Jesse Ventura is the last one because we also, fortunately lost Macho Man. We have the King, but but King still wasn't that far back. But Jesse the Body Ventura was the guy. He is, the epitome of, vintage WWE. So, what was your thoughts on how Jesse did?
I loved how he opened up the show, being the true heel commentator that he is. He took a dig at Dusty. He took it,
Mhm.
and I loved it because it was all. And they started booing, and I was like, "Oh no, you got to understand where that's coming from. That's all love. That is straight love, and you don't expect anything different from Jesse the Body Ventura." And
Exactly.
I love that they had Lillian Garcia back. I think it's time to bring Tony Chimmel back. Him and
I think
Lillian
so.
Garcia can go back and forth. But
Yeah. If Chimmel is up to it, I don't know if he wants to tour again and stuff like that. And, he could just do the special. So I guess, yeah, that'd be a great throwback for the next Saturday night's main event.
yeah, and then I love how they only had him commentate the main event, but that 3-man table that they had was absolutely beautiful. Now, Jesse Ventura moves a little slow, but his mind's sharp as a tack, man.
Heck yeah. Especially when he cuss. I was like, oh, snap. Jesse, you get a little controversial over there when he brought up Damian and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah,
Uh, You know, you could. I was totally off script, so you knew they weren't ready. And Michael Cole was like, "Oh snap, we got to move past this. We got to move past this." I'm
And
like, "Nah, man,
you know what?
that's the right answer to the question. What snake is this? This is Damien."
I'm gonna tell you what I was hoping. I was hoping that he that we get a response from Jake the Snake. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we get a response from Jake the Snake, and then next Saturday night main event, guess who pops up? Oh,
Yeah,
but see, it'd be a great lead-in, and then you're gonna have butts in the seats. You're gonna have people there, and especially from our generation, you're gonna have us there, and we're gonna be sitting in the floor like we're kids again to watch this show.
yep, and that'd be a great pop because I think Jake is done with AEW. I'm not sure. That we'll have to look into, but by the next Saturday night's main event in 2025, probably be after WrestleMania. If Jake comes out with a snake, man, that'd be awesome. That would give Jake the opportunity to sign a Legends contract, and rightfully so. And maybe we could get the biggest move of all of professional wrestling, in my opinion. The DDT can be protected again, just like they banned the pile driver. We can protect the DDT.
Well, I have to say this: if Jake the Snake comes back, it's a lot of. I mean, you don't have to have them all back at once, but if you want to have a homecoming, you take everybody that you got. They had Greg the Hammer Valentine and Coco Beware there tonight. That was good. That was good to see them there. My only gripe about this Saturday night main event, the amount of commercials in the middle of the action.
Yeah.
And this is a streaming app. I pay for a streaming app so I don't have to deal with commercials.
Right. And I don't understand it either because I'm paying the Peacock Premium, which you're not supposed to have commercials.
Exactly.
I don't know if they just took the cheap way out and just gave everybody the commercials. But Peacock shouldn't have had commercials. We should have had the match continual. And then NBC would have had the commercials.
But did they show it on NBC?
Yeah.
I thought it was only on Peacock. I didn't know it was on NBC.
Yeah, it's NBC proper and Peacock streaming simultaneous. But NBC is the home platform for Saturday night's main event.
Well, you being from Baltimore, that would be channel 2 for you, correct?
Yes.
And channel
13 is CBS.
Yes, WJZ. Channel 2 is WMA.
Yeah, or WBAL.
One of the other.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
I like to remember the channel's call letter. So because if I say that, people know what I'm talking about. But
shout out to WJZ channel 13. The OG Bob Turk for the news. To the biggest wrestling fans. The morning show that they had. Oh gosh. I'm remembering old names now, like Richard Scher, but it was oh gosh, Bob Turk. It'll come back to me in a second. The two gentlemen in the morning show that were huge wrestling fans, that would always be at the shows at the Baltimore Arena. I just can't remember the names at the moment.
That was my only drawback was the commercials.
Marty Jannetty and not Marty Jannetty. Marty Bass and oh man, all my B-More folks are gonna beat me for not remembering this. For those of a particular age, was Marty Bass and somebody. Shout out to them. Great time.
My only drawback was the commercials, and then the commercials appearing in the big box in the bottom corner, and the match going on in the little box up top. Nah, don't do that to me. I mean, it's cool in certain matches, but don't do that in the main event.
Yeah, and they didn't even throw to the picture in picture, so that was extra weird. That's one thing I say. AEW, they'll picture in picture you to death, but when it went to picture in picture, there was no lead in. So just like a little bit of a disjunctive thing. And then if you're doing picture in picture, they could have, the ad could have been running, but the match could have been a little bigger or something. I don't know. But again, I'm watching on Peacock. There shouldn't have been a picture in picture or a
Right.
commercial break anyway. You run it before the show, you run it after the show if you wanted to get something in. But certain tiers of Peacock should not have had it. But I guess, like I said, they just wanted to just blanket it, make the most money. But I hope that is not a sign of Netflix.
Oh my God. You read my mind. You read my mind.
Because
I
Netflix
would.
should be continual. So we'll have to see because they don't need the money. I mean, if there's a sponsorship, it will probably be, ring sponsorship or environmental or product placement. But yeah.
Speaking of sponsorship, am I the only one that's tired of seeing that big ass Prime bottle every show?
Well, I don't know. I was confused by that because you got Prime and C4. I thought Prime was an energy drink too, and hydration because they have B3 and stuff like that in it.
I
So
get tired of
I
seeing.
was confused by that tonight. It's like, well, we got Prime and C4, especially. But then Logan Paul is saying that he's retired allegedly from wrestling. So is that why C4 was there? Not, I don't know. That's kind of confusing for the smart marks.
Yeah. Something else that really caught my eye, and I don't. I think I'll hold on to this until we get to that particular match. But it was a lot of throwback and a lot of callbacks to the original Saturday Night Main Event, and I thought that was absolutely wonderful the way that they did it.
Oh yeah, even down to the ref's hair, the slick back,
Yeah,
greasy hair.
and
Like, man, they really did the attention to detail.
the blue shirts instead of the
Yep.
shirts, and I was like, "Oh, this is just wonderful." And then you go back to Nassau Coliseum,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, and here's the thing: this is where WWE is smart because you go back to Nassau Coliseum, which is not a very big place up in New York. It's not a big venue, and if you're going to take this around the country, or if you're going to stay in the New York area, cool. But if you take it around the country, you got to go to the smaller, older venues that don't get very much
Love, yeah.
right. Like if you come to DC, instead of going to Capital One, I think you go to the DC Armory.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that in a while. That used to be the house show tour, either
Right.
the A to B show for the house shows, DC Armory, right after or before the Baltimore Arena. Then they would hit Virginia, and then Delaware. They're running that loop.
Now, see if you do that. Let's say you go DC Armory, you go to Baltimore you go to Baltimore for Raw
Or SmackDown, yeah.
or but now if you go for SmackDown, then you do SmackDown at the Baltimore arena. What is it called? FBG Arena now. They didn't change.
It's the Baltimore Arena. I don't care what the hell they keep trying to turn around. It's got a different name.
Well, it
Baltimore.
was Palms, and then they did the renovation. And I remember during the renovation, I was.
Oh, KG. Did the traffic get you?
No.
My bad.
Okay, we got you back.
I remember sending you and Sumo the video from the Baltimore Arena, and it was actually to the day. I think it was 32 years from when Ron Simmons won the world title at the Baltimore Arena. It was 32 years to the day. You can't beat that. But
no, not at all.
if that's what they're going to do, how often are they going to do this? Saturday night main event once a month, once every
I
couple
think
of
it's
months.
once a quarter, so
Okay.
once every 3 months minimum. Obviously, WrestleMania would throw things out of whack a little bit, but generally right around once a quarter.
I think that's an amazing thing to do, and I really think that this is a smart move by Triple H and TKO or whoever idea it was, because now you're getting ready to bring the OG fans back into the fold, and everybody that walked away from WWE for whatever reasons because they didn't like the product that was being put out, they're getting ready to come back. Everybody's getting ready to come home.
Yeah,
Not the people that the performers that walked away, they're going to come home.
I agree. But if they do get Chimmel back and he does Saturday Night Main Events, that could be something to bring Edge back. Because Edge always says that nobody brings him in like Tony Chimmel. Just to, announce him as the rated R superstar, man. So let's get into a quick overview of the matches because we don't want to bore people with our takes on just the overall presentation. So we opened with Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Great match, but how do you feel about Drew going over instead of Sami Zayn?
I actually saw that happening. That was actually good. So, did you really think that they weren't going to? You can't keep burying Drew. Come on now.
Yeah, I agree. And, it had some good buildup. But what do you foresee this coming to a head?
Only way it can come to a head, the correct way, you got to give McIntyre some help. You got to put some help with him. So, because this is unless he runs through the OG bloodline like X-Lax, I don't see where this goes. But he has a beef with Sami Zayn. But Sami Zayn is in contention for the Intercontinental Championship. So
Right.
this is gonna be a beef, and it's gonna involve the IC or more than likely the IC title. So this is gonna be that beef, and then it may escalate to where they're contending for one of the world championships, whether it's Cody or Gunther.
Yeah.
And that's going to be your next rivalry because everybody's loving it. It's got some steam, but I think they just got to cultivate it a little bit more. And you may have to phase out the bloodline to really, really get to it the way you want to.
I don't know if they're gonna let that happen, phasing out the bloodline. But I do understand what you're saying. So let's talk about the second match of the night. Liv Morgan retained over Io Sky. No interference, just one-on-one. Were you expecting Io to get the shot, or do you think it has to be Liv Morgan to take the belt off of Liv?
Well, it's going to be Charlotte Flair that takes the belt off of Liv. It's either going to be Charlotte Flair or Becky when she returns. It's going to be one of the four horsewomen to take it. I was surprised that it's not Bayley, but you got to also give Liv that run. Remember the last time she was champion? She had such a short run. We never really got to see what she could do.
Right.
And now you're seeing character development and her persona, how she handles things and how she goes about it. And now, is she Judgment Day? Is she not Judgment Day? And it's like so many questions, but you're seeing development. And she's kind of sort of out of that Harley Quinn-esque role. And now we're seeing more Liv Morgan and less Alexa Bliss.
Right. So she's finally got a character that she can sink her teeth into that we can believe in. believing that she's a heel, believing that she's a face, but it's a character that you can believe in. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. And it's a standalone. So yeah, you're absolutely right on the mark about it. Can't be blended in with it's trying to be a Alexa Bliss like or anybody else. It's just Liv Morgan. So happy with that. And we didn't have any Dom interference, just the appearance of Dom, just the appearance of Raquel Rodriguez. Good match between the two of them. You could tell it's been a long day, but man, good match, which set us up for another good match: Gunther versus Finn Balor versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther still walked out as champion. I thought because it's a hometown crowd, they were going to put the belt on Priest. So glad we didn't do picks on that one. I'd have lost that match.
Let me tell you something. Brother.
Oh Lord, you want to do a Hoganism? Really,
Yep.
you?
Of course, because I got to let you know he's a piece of shit. So if you would have put the belt on Damian Priest tonight, the roof would have blew off the building.
Yeah, I know.
But it's not time. It's not time. And one thing I can say about Damian, when it's his time, and he has grown on me so much over the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
He's grown on me because I knew he was a good worker. I knew he's dedicated to the craft and everything, but he's grown on me so much. I enjoy his social media presence, but I also enjoy seeing him on the screen and the chemistry. I hope they never turn him face because it makes it more funnier when R-Truth says something and he breaks him each time. It makes it funnier. But it's not time for Damian yet. Damian Priest, I'll say, mark my words on this. This may be a Blue Magic guarantee.
Okay.
Your 2025 Royal Rumble winner is going to be Damian Priest.
Really?
He's
So
going to walk.
He's been Mr. Money in the Bank, and then he's going to become the Royal Rumble champion next month.
Because he was damn good as the IC. Was the IC or US? I think it was IC.
I see.
He was damn good at that. Didn't get a real long run with the world title. But when he gets his next run, you are going to see quite possibly your next face of the company. Because it's been a long time since we had a heel with a long world championship run. I don't know if he's going to. Now imagine if him and Gunther are both champions. So now you got Gunther he's a heel, but how long is his run going to be? Now, if you got two heels,
All right.
ooh, man. And then the thing is, now pull my coat and follow me on this one.
All right.
You got two heels. We're talking 2025 now. You got two heels. You got Gunther, you got Damian Priest, you got the Judgment Day. Gunther's about to get beat. Judgment Day comes and saves it. He keeps his title. Damian Priest is about to get beat. They got Judgment Day locked away outside the building, something like that. You know how WWE is. I mean, they locked by a forklift because can't nobody find the keys. Let's go with that.
Right.
And then Gunther comes in and saves them. But it's not going to start a faction. It's just going to start mutual respect. And with that mutual respect, they're going to run the WWE as the two top heels until WWE sees fit to put them against each other to unify the belts. Because it's coming. That's going to come down soon.
You think so?
I know so. Because whenever it gets like this and you got two champions, pretty soon they're going to unify the belt and then they're going to bring back Big Gold.
Okay. So what's your thoughts, speaking of champions, on Chelsea Green becoming the first ever women's United States champion over Michin?
shock, surprise. If we would have picked this, I would have lost it.
Right.
I can't get used to calling her Meech, and I had Mia Yim winning this.
Mia Yim, yeah.
I just had her winning it, but it just seems like they're gonna Naomi her ass to death. That's what I feel about Mia Yim. She's gonna always be on the cusp, always be in the talk, but never gonna get over, and she's never gonna reach the mountaintop again when you know it's her time. But they're gonna keep her in the same category. They got Natty in and Naomi right now, which is not really, really good because you are making the talented women lost product, and that's not good for business. But I was surprised that Chelsea Green won it. So we'll see where they go from that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, that wasn't the call I was going to make. All signs was looking towards. I mean, Mia Yim's last meeting has put in a lot of work, put a lot of people over, a lot. But then also so is Chelsea Green. But I think the better promo for first ever is going to come from Chelsea Green. So, and that doesn't mean that there can't be a rematch for the championship and Mia takes it from her.
But why not put the belt for the first time on a Bayley?
Bayley's had it enough time. I mean, Bayley's been to the mountaintop. You know, that's the belt is supposed to transition to make somebody. Bayley's already made.
But yeah, she wouldn't
have gotten anything out of it.
Just to build a resume. It's good for the resume. That's all. I ain't saying let her keep it. Put it on her first.
Well, but she can still earn it and get it. Resume locked in.
If Charlotte wasn't hurt, they would have put it on Charlotte first, right?
Oh yeah.
They would have.
Oh,
because it's just when Charlotte comes back, and I hear they're going to change her persona and all that, and they're going to change her ring attire and all of that. When she comes,
can they have her eat a little bit more? She was too lean.
She's going to come back and she's going to break 17 world championship reigns. Charlotte's going to be the one to come close to Moolah status. She's going to be the one. But
yeah,
Chelsea Green, she made a name for herself in, what was that, TNA?
Yep.
Speaking of which, did you see that Tessa Blanchard's back?
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm surprised, but I mean,
we talked about that a many moon ago. That she'll end up somewhere again. But the question is, kind of like when Hogan came back after he said what he said, and he had a lot of crow to eat and a lot of butt to kiss. Tessa may have to do the same thing because you can't be saying no racist remark and stuff like that, and then just expect to walk up in there when you got people like Moose and several others just backstage. That's there's got to be some come up into some conversation there. So to be a fly on the wall for that one. But wrestling wise, great character, great performer. That was just a blemish. Like, I thought, she'd be great in the WWE. But, again, once you're saying stuff like that, can't touch that with a, 100-foot pole. If that was the case, then Velveteen Dream would be back right now.
Oh, man. Let me ask you a question. Speaking of Velveteen Dream, before we go on to the next match, nothing has ever been proven.
Right.
It was just allegations. Nothing has ever been proven.
Right. Like there's no conviction or anything that's like ironclad, kind of like Jonathan Majors. There's nothing that's locking down saying, yep, we got it. It's on video. Here it is. Smoking gun. Nope. Nothing of the sort.
And that's kind of crazy because with what we have going on in the world today, allegations can ruin a once promising career.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when the allegations have proven to be false. And I don't want to bring too much social media into it. And
No,
I'll
it's
just,
all social media. It's
yeah,
all social media. The court of public opinion should not be as strong as it is.
it was a young lady on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And, they were talking about, they were having a discussion about the young lady from the Duke lacrosse rape case. And she says, well, nobody has ever died from false rape allegations. Please stop. And then everybody just started coming up with daggone and stories like, yeah, this happens. You can ruin lives. You can take lives with these things.
Mm-hmm.
Be real careful when you say stuff like that. But I just wanted to, touch on Velveteen Dream. But
That's only one name. Anytime somebody says that, nobody has ever, when it comes down to false accusations, just ask them, hey, did you watch the Emmett Till movie? That's it. That's the only. That's the one. Like, tell me that was accidental about something else.
Exactly.
Tell me that. Can't. But I said social media is good up until a point, and once it starts changing things, it doesn't need to be changed because one group of people think this. Yeah, that's where it starts to become an issue. Because where does it end? And right now we're at that point. It has no end because it's monetized and everything else. And like, oh, we'll just change it for this and change it for that. We're going to go through and make $1 billion decision to change the logo of our football team. Oh, you know what? Those people that we thought that would be offended aren't offended. Let's go ahead and just petition to change it back. So we will go from the Redskins to the Commanders to the Redskins again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Meanwhile, the Cleveland Indians are like, y'all some dummies. Florida State Seminoles like, y'all some dummies.
Well,
What the hell are you doing?
The name to the Guardians.
Right. Doesn't even make sense. But, that's one of those off on the sidebar conversations. So let's talk about the main event. Cody Rhodes successfully defended against Kevin Owens. A little bit of a sketch at the end with a table coming into play for the Crossroads, but still one-on-one match, hard hitting. KO did his thing, but just came up short. And then got pissed off at the end after the show and gave Cody Rhodes a spiked pile driver. So you'll see that coming out into play on social media from WWE.com. So you can see that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
This is what I wanted to talk about earlier.
I figured that.
Did you see it?
Which part?
The throwback for one night only. The Winged
Eagle. Oh, yeah. Reggie Park special. I kicked myself in the pants. There was a time, this was all before everybody had to have championship belts, and the WWE actually was selling them. WrestlingSuperstore.com. They were selling replica belts created by Reggie Parks, $2,500. I had the money. I just didn't want to part with it. One of the biggest mistakes ever. Because KG, had I have done that, you would have been hit upside the head in DC by a belt made by Reggie Parks.
And I would have took that like a champ and been honored.
And everybody that's like, what the heck? Would you? Yes, I would have. Yes. I don't understand the whole purpose of getting a replica belt and not wrestling for it. I'm just going to put it on display. Hell to the no. All of my belts have been up against my head and somebody else's head. Period. Dot. just like it was back in the day in the backyard or in the alleyway on some old nasty mattress we shouldn't have been on with a cardboard championship belt you made. We're going to wrestle for this thing.
Cardboard and where it's at.
Yep. Take about 5 days to cut it out and design it and glue on the plates and all that stuff. Man, those are good old days. Then you had to defend it, and if you lost it, then it's over your friend's house and you pissed because you got to catch them at the right time when they come and defend it if they want to defend it. And if they don't, you just make another one. Like, the hell with you. I'm going to go ahead and become champion again. Simple times, but great times. But what's your overall thoughts on the match for Kevin Owens and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes?
This was a classic ebb and flow match, and it kept you on your seat, on the edge of your seat, because you didn't know which way it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know if because KO, he hits the Swanton bomb. Cody comes with the Cody Cutter, Crossroads. KO comes with the stunner. It's like everybody's getting their finisher off. Where's it going to go? And referee gets knocked out. New referee comes in. Jesse Ventura was getting ready to run in the ring and count to 3 because Owens had this one. And I was like, oh, this is great.
Yep. I wish they would have let Jesse go in the ring. But, people got to be medically cleared and all that. But I think that would have been great.
Even though the man doesn't have the 24-inch pythons, because him and Billy Graham were the first ones to do it. And the stadium. Hogan stole it. But when I tell you, seeing him on TV was absolutely, positively, I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed hearing him behind the commentary desk. There was no way in 4 Hills that we could ever duplicate something like that again. This was just an event.
Voice of a time. Immediately took you back. And then as he just started, I mean, it seemed like he really didn't leave. Very seamless, well prepared. Knew to the extent of, who he was talking about, or at least was familiar enough with the notes, to be able to deliver on, what he needed to deliver out in the crowd and also on the announce desk. So, total win for the hype up of Jesse coming back. Only thing missing, to be honest with you, outside of Mean Gene Okerlund, was Jesse standing next to Vince McMahon.
That's right. They did used to do commentary together.
Yep.
That is right.
Because they were the another great alternative to Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. The way they would banter, or Paul Heyman and Jim Ross. Great, witty banter between the two of them, especially with Vince playing the straight man.
Speaking of commentary, did I hear right that they said Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are going to be your commentators for Raw?
Yep, Pat is back. Netflix wanted that.
I can see that. It's just for the first episode in January, you got to go OG. You got to go King and JR. Just for that only.
Yeah, and I think JR is done with AEW.
Because I was gonna say, I'm sure Tony Khan's really cool when it comes to forging relationships like that. So
I think he would ask for some money for that one, and rightfully so. If JR is still under contract, it's like, I'm gonna need to get a cut, a check cut.
Hey, well,
and they'll pay it, because only reason why is because it's Netflix. That's Todd. It's not just network television. It's or a WrestleMania one-time thing. It's Netflix. They're already spending gazillions of dollars. So to not get your piece of the pie would be stupid. Couldn't fault them for that.
But
So
overall, if I had to rate this Saturday night main event 1 out of 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, I gotta give it a 9.7. And the only reason why I'm taking off that .3 is because of the commercials on a streaming app. And
yeah,
this is where I missed the WWE app because I didn't have to deal with commercials. I paid my $9.99 a month and I didn't have to deal with commercials.
that's right.
What do we pay
I
streaming
still
service?
have the app on my phone because I know if I delete it, it'll be gone forever. You can't get it back.
True. But
That'll never come off my phone.
what do we pay streaming services for if we still got to look at commercials that everybody on the TV looks at? What are we paying them?
Or correction, what are we paying the extra on a streaming service? That's the key. Like I said, Peacock Extra, Peacock Plus, whatever it is, that is designed to not have. Because the PLEs, while everybody else is seeing a commercial break or something else, we're getting a vignette. But I'll give them a pass. I get it. Hey, trying to get as much revenue as possible, ad buys and all that stuff. I get it. I give it a 9. Just a 9 clean. The only thing I know they had the legends in the crowd, but I would have liked to have a legend of some kind other than Jesse as part of the show.
Who would you have?
Somebody backstage segment bumping into Brett. It could have been Brett and Sean, having a one-off, or Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels behind backstage. Just something a little extra to take it back to the retro. That's the only thing it was missing. The cameos was great, but just within the show. To lock in the fans that haven't watched in quite some time, that would have harkened them back and pulled on the remember the time strings. But outside of that, great show.
Before we get out of here, I gotta say this to you because I know we at that point. It's time to wrap that shit up, B. I was putting some stuff into perspective today, and I talked to BJ earlier, and I was putting some stuff into perspective, and I just wanted to say this to you.
Okay.
Come February 2025, it'll be 25 years. It's a quarter of a century that I've known you. We lost contact prior to social media, hooked right back up. Now here we are in year number, what is this? We've been doing this since 2018. So we coming up on year 7 of doing the Saturday Night Wrestlemaniacs. And I was putting it into perspective. And I said, that's more than half my life. I met you when I was 18 years old.
Jesus.
Young football player, man. This is 6'2". This is before I started really growing. 6'2", 225, pure muscle. KG, strong safety. That was that KG. And to say 25 years, man, and it's been a hell of a ride, number one. Number two, I can't wait for the next 25 years to keep doing this right here and growing and just doing the damn thing. And number three, I'm still young and sexy and frisky. You getting old.
Gee. Yeah, that's the thing. See, you young whippersnappers can look at things in that lens. I wouldn't even have thought about or wanted to think about like 25 years ago. Sheesh. Man.
But I will say this.
That's a long time.
To everybody listening, I'll say this. I haven't had very good managers my whole entire working career. But when it comes to good managers, trainers, things of the sort. Even though he used to yell at me, the People's Choice Don Rodriguez is one of the best to ever do it. And he did it at quite possibly my most favorite job. My current position now that I hold at Helen Hunt Motors is my second favorite because I'm older and I'm wiser. But I gotta say, the lessons that were taught down in that arena and in DC at the corner of 11th and E, 25 years later, I'm still putting them in the use. So I just want to give you your flowers on air and let you know that I appreciate you. I've always appreciated you, and I appreciate you 25 years later, man.
Oh man, well, I definitely am touched and speechless to say the least. You know, mark of a true manager is the impression or you know leader or inspirational person. You know, is that they pour emotionally into people, and you know you fill up their cup, so that way when they need to hark back to those lessons or experiences, then they have enough of that emotional investment to be able to navigate whatever you know it is that they're going through. And you know that's what people did for me. And you know I always looked at the opportunity to pay it forward and do it, and provide that opportunity to others, and then let them you know flourish and do whatever it is you know in their lives that they choose to. But at least they know that you know somebody believed in them, which these days a lot of young males specifically just don't have, is somebody to just say, hey, I believe in your potential, and be genuine about it, and you know unwavering about that belief, even if the person doesn't see it in themselves at that moment. Down the road things that come to fruition, and then that could just be something that they think back like, man, so and so believed that you know I could do something or do great things or provide this or reach this goal, whatever it may be. You know that's all we need in this world, somebody to just believe in us and our potential. So thank you for that, you and the boss BJ, and dare I say it, the Nubian Sumo, because we all out the same archetype there. Quite, you never responded, but you know that picture of Sumo from way back in the day, and his younger self. Did you get a chance to see that?
I did, and I didn't have a chance to respond because I was looking at it and I was like, wow. I was like, I'm trying to, I'm like, okay, that's not DC. That's got to be Atlanta.
Yep,
And I didn't know how the Atlanta setup was.
Atlanta day 3.
And I was like, wow. And I don't know if I would love to find out if any pictures existed from DC around, 2000 and things like that.
Oh yeah, they exist. They're in the vault. I got them.
If you can find some of those, I would love to see those.
Yeah, I've got some, some photos of that. You know, I took pictures everywhere back in the good old days when we had to get them developed. So yeah, and some photos I have to go into the vault and pull out some of the stuff. Shoot, I even tried on my remember the Leatherman jacket that we had? Yep, I still have the DC one. That's the only jacket I ever bought.
I remember.
Kind of fits.
You know what? I'll text my mom because she used to take every time I worked at a job and they gave me a T-shirt. My mother would take my T-shirts, and it was the ESPN Zone T-shirt that had, what was it? The tennis ball, the soccer ball, the basketball, and the football.
Yeah,
and
it had called the kebab tee.
Yeah, she took that from me, and I wonder if she still has that. Then probably. I had my ESPN Zone fitted hat.
I miss mine. Yeah, I wore that to death. I think I lost it somewhere at the airport. Just setting it down, and you can't ever get those things again. But I still got my Dazzle Blue shirts. I've got my chef jacket. Don't have the chef pants anymore. I wore those out. They were extremely comfortable. I have my tie server, the host stand tie. Remember they used to have the ESPN zone tie that they had to wear. And I think I have a couple of the jerseys that a couple of the zones signed. I don't think DC signed a jersey for me. I know I did in Anaheim, Baltimore.
I really wish I kept all of my Final Four basketballs that I won. And I had about 4 or 5 of them because I was winning during the Final Four. I was winning every trivia contest. I'm like, how do y'all not know? How do y'all work here and not know this stuff, man?
Well, shoot, most of them took forever to figure out what their favorite team was that we put on a name tag.
Man, don't get me started on the name
Why are
tag.
you here if you're not a sports fan? Come on now. How do you not go to the bathroom and just look at it and be like, wow, this is pretty damn cool? There's TVs in the bathroom.
TV, and ever since then, let me pull this because I want you to say that again so my wife can hear you. Hold on, let me go on the back.
Okay.
Now, what did you say was in the bathroom so she can hear you?
TVs, every stall, and up top, in the actual, the bathroom, the toilet area. You look up and there was TVs right there, all over the place. Sports Center or Monday Night Football. Sometimes you had to be in there just right at the urinal until the daggone commercial happened on Monday nights or Sundays, because you didn't want to miss a piece of the game. Just standing there watching the game.
I've been trying to explain that to her for 20 years. That's why we need a TV in the bathroom.
Yep.
It's any action. They used to have a 32-inch up over top of the toilet. Then they had 9 inches over top of the urinal. You didn't miss anything.
Nothing.
It's not that good.
You know why they never had that in the arena? Because we would have never left the bathroom. we would have never left the bathroom.
Exactly. We were already hiding in the bathroom as is. Shoot. Like, where's Kevin at? Man, I don't know. He went to the bathroom about 30, 45 minutes ago.
Man, don't let me be no floater. Because sometimes with so many people, man, I got to clean the bathroom anyway. I'm just trying to make sure the bathroom good.
Just hanging out.
Either that or that.
Even worse if you knew that, you had that door out to the parking garage that was right there by the bathrooms.
Yep.
If you really want to hide out and not get caught, that's where you hung out at. As long as you had your way back in, you got to set that up because that door locks. You're stuck. But those are good old days. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We went down memory lane, really quick there. So got a little caught up. We supposed to be wrapping this daggone thing up. So we appreciate y'all checking us out for our recap of Saturday night's main event. We are getting closer and closer. Next month, the official road to WrestleMania begins with the Royal Rumble. And then after that, well, technically, it doesn't start with the Royal Rumble. It's got to start with January 6th, Raw on Netflix. I guarantee you the WrestleMania sign will be hanging. And that's going to go into the Royal Rumble. And then from there, it's time to start talking Hall of Fame and our predictions and, what's going to happen for 2 nights of WrestleMania and how are they going to book that to make sense? Who's coming back? There's a lot of things in play. And our guy John Cena is running his farewell tour, starting with the Elimination Chamber in Toronto in March. So a lot of stuff rocking and rolling in 2025. It's going to be hot, heavy. So to quote KG, in my own way, grab my wife beater and follow along, and we will not let you down. But until then, as always, diversify your bonds.
Konnichiwa, bitches.